Tonight, a man critical after being stabbed at a caravan park. BMA's chairman takes centre stage. Fans head north for the V8s. And all the hype ahead of this Sunday's NRL clash.
Across Mackay, the Whitsundays and the Coalfields with Brough. This is 7 Local News.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us. A 24-year-old woman has been remanded in custody after she was charged with stabbing a man at a West Mackay caravan park overnight. The 51-year-old man remains in a serious condition in Townsville Hospital.
Along one of Mackay's busiest thoroughfares, this caravan park became a crime scene.
There was an incident that occurred on Nebo Road near Bridge Street, and as a result of that, a male person has sustained an injury.
It's alleged the man was stabbed by a 24-year-old woman just before 2 a.m.
There's a puncture wound to the person's chest, and how that's occurred is what's currently under investigation.
The victim attended Mackay Base Hospital but was later flown to Townsville Hospital in a critical condition. A hospital spokeswoman says his condition has improved. The woman was taken into custody and later charged over the incident. Forensic officers spent the day at the scene where they seized a number of items. 24-year-old Juanita Caston briefly appeared in the Mackay Magistrates Court late this afternoon on 2 charges, including grievous bodily harm and assaulting a police officer. She's been remanded in custody until her next court appearance on Monday. Livio, 7 News.
Members of the Mackay Area Industry Network weren't given any reassurance from a BMA chairman about when the industry will start picking up. The outlook remains grim, and local businesses were told it's likely to get worse.
The global coal industry is suffering from soft demand and oversupply. Mackay companies are being told once again to increase productivity and to cut costs to survive.
We're still seeing a bit of an overhang in terms of the high input costs that we'd seen during the strong activity in the so-called boom.
The Aussie dollar, the low international coal price and the drop in Chinese demand are all hitting the region financially. Mines have also started culling workers across the Bowen Basin.
I think our biggest challenges moving forward is we are a high-cost environment, but we're competing in a very global industry. So we have to be the most productive. We have to be the best.
I suppose that is $1 million question, is how low can it go? And that's why we need to make sure that we don't have more barriers put in place by government than we've got in terms of the international market at the moment.
But Mr Dumble is confident the bubble hasn't burst. The Hay Point expansion is about 60% complete and BMA has $10 million in capital projects underway.
It is a unique set of circumstances. Normally when we see commodity prices drop, we see the dollar drop much more significantly.
But I don't think we're going to see the same level of growth that we've seen in the past. And so we will start to see incremental growth, but nothing like we've seen before.
Simon Nichols, 7 News.
The Queensland Resources Council is urging major mining companies to buy local. The organisation has released a guide to help mineral and energy businesses source goods and services from nearby communities. The initiative is designed to boost the local economy during the downturn of the resources industry. Tim Miles from the Mackay Area Industry Network says it's crucial that all parties work together.
I think it's important in these times now where they can source products and services from right around the country and right around the globe that they focus on buying locally.
Around 1,000 mining workers have recently lost their jobs in central Queensland. If you'd like more information on the new guide, visit qrc.com.au. Thousands of Mackay residents have made the trek north, revved up for 3 days of V8 supercar action. The Sucrage and Townsville 400 got off to a flying start, with the age-old rivalry between Holden and Ford setting the pace.
V8 fever has hit Townsville, with fans snapping up merchandise and the chance to meet their on-track heroes.
Yeah, it's been great. I think the support we always get up here has been tremendous.
Fans came from far and wide and all for different reasons.
We like when they're racing and not going to crash.
Looking at people, the grid girls. Stephen Davis and his family have been visiting from Cairns for years.
We just like the V8, so we just travel down. In the first couple of years, we actually stayed a week here in Townsville.
The weekend calls for a major police operation with hundreds of officers monitoring the on and off track action.
Specialist support officers from Brisbane. We have officers from Cairns, far south as Gladstone, west to Longreach, Mackay.
But most people will stay safe and keep their eyes geared firmly towards the circuit. But the start's been clouded by speculation surrounding its future in Townsville, with naming rights sponsor Sucrogen not committing to sponsorship beyond this weekend. In past years, Mackay and Cairns have both been rumoured to want the event.
The state government will see the impact it has in the region. It is the largest regional event in Australia.
V8 officials will meet with the Queensland government next week, with deals expected to be announced by the end of the month. Anita Theodoro, 7 News.
Police would like us all to take extra care on the roads over the weekend, with a number of big events scheduled across our region. Officers are worried about the amount of traffic on the roads.
3 people were killed in 2 separate car crashes on Wednesday night on the Brough Highway just north of Serena. Police don't want to see any more carnage.
We need people just to be very, very patient on the road and just not try and push the envelope, be very conscious of their surrounds.
Thousands are expected to head north for the Townsville V8s, while hundreds of drivers are also due to head into Mackay for the Bulldogs Knights game at Virgin Australia Stadium on Sunday. There's also the Mackay Cup tomorrow.
We need people just to slow down, take care, get to their destination and get home.
The Mackay Regional Council is expecting a crowd of more than 7,000 for the NRL game. People are advised to beat the queues and purchase their tickets beforehand.
On game day, you really don't want to be purchasing tickets, so we would encourage people to make sure they get into the box office on Saturday and get those tickets.
Simon Nichols, 7 News.
Well, as we know, the hype surrounding Sunday's NRL clash has hit fever pitch, but the Newcastle Knights still found some time to drop into Mackay Base Hospital. 4 of the boys brightened the day of sick kids at the local children's ward.
They're the hard-hitting stars of the footy field, but at the heart of Mackay's children's ward, they were more like gentle giants.
Obviously, to come visit some unfortunate kids, you know, they're not as blessed as we are, because obviously they're in the hospital. So if we can come here and cheer them up, it's pretty grounding.
Ella Rose Geach didn't know who her special visitors were, but was happy to have the company.
I told them I play soccer.
Well, I asked her who her favourite players were, and she named 2 of her best friends, so I don't know.
It's nice to see some people that they wouldn't normally see up close, so it's great.
Staff posed for photos while kids showed off their newly signed posters, most beaming.
A few were, one wasn't, but that's all right. We don't understand their situation, so as long as we can make them a little bit more happier than when we first went in there, that's our goal achieved.
It was a fitting visit for Alex McKinnon. He's still carrying his first injury after having surgery 6 weeks ago.
So it wasn't much fun, so I kind of know how it is being here. I was only here for 2 days, but I can only imagine what their families are going through.
A touching thought appreciated by families in need of a smile.
Thank you for popping in.
Anita Theodoro, 7 News.
Good on you, boys. Now, we all know a bit of pampering can make a big difference to the way we feel, but now the philosophy is being used to help treat sick turtles. Reef HQ's Turtle Hospital has discovered that a warm spa bath has huge healing powers for many of its winter patients.
Just like humans, more turtles get sick during the cooler months. The majestic marine reptiles are more prone to sickness during winter as the drop in ocean temperature reduces their immune system. They can then develop a number of illnesses such as floating syndrome.
Being a floating turtle is not a very good thing to be. Their food is on the bottom, they eat seagrass, so they're stuck at the surface and can't dive down for their food, so they slowly start to starve.
Toot, the green turtle, was found just last week at Airlie Beach. He's receiving the best treatment with a heated turtle spa bath. But it's not just indulgent, it is life-saving.
It brings their metabolism back up again and they have a better ability to actually heal themselves. Sometimes that's all they need. They just need that warmer water and their own immune system kicks in and then off they go.
During summer, Reef HQ's Turtle Hospital may only see up to 2 admissions a month. In winter, that dramatically rises to at least 1 a week. Those out on the water are reminded to keep an eye out for any sick or injured turtles.
Just be more mindful when out enjoying the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. Our slogan is go slow for those below.
If you do come across a turtle in need, call the Marine Stranding Hotline on 1300 Animal. As for Toot and the other sick turtles, they'll continue to enjoy their spa treatment. Jessica Howe, 7 News.
Take a break in a moment. The new art space exhibit celebrating the South Sea Islander community and the uni students setting the pace to end poverty.
Sunday.
Nice having you with us. 7 Local News. 20 uni students from across the state have started a 1,400-kilometre journey to help end global poverty. They'll spend 15 days running along Queensland's roads, hoping to raise more than $20,000.
With a draining run from Mackay to Coolangatta ahead of them, it was no surprise this energetic group took the chance to sit down and load up.
Indeed. Copy and then kick off.
They're participating in Run to Better Days, founded by Daniel Charles.
I read a book in grade 12 called The Life You Can Save by Peter Singer, and he gives this, in my opinion, a very compelling argument, a flawlessly logical argument really, but quite sort of confronting, which says that we all really could do more to help the world's poorest people.
This is Daniel's contribution. He married his love of public speaking and running to help share the message.
Just trying to convince them that global poverty is something they should care about.
They'll treat it like a relay, alternating runners every 10 or so kilometres. Some of them have already covered the distance simply planning their route.
We had to follow on Google Maps to be able to actually make sure the road shoulders are wide enough for us to run on, and if there's, if it's not, is there grass next door? If not, you have to get the car.
They'll also be stopping at schools to talk to students about what they can do to end poverty.
Because everyone knows it's a bad thing, but in terms of actually, really feeling and feeling that you should act and being inspired, that takes a while.
All money raised will be donated to the International Aid and Development Organisation of the Catholic Church, Caritas Australia. To help out, visit www.runtobetterdays.com.au. Anita Theodoro, 7 News.
And we're all being urged to get on our bikes and participate in this year's River to Reef Ride, charity event in October. The money raised from the ride will go to the CQ Rescue Helicopter and Mackay's Sporting Wheelies.
There's still 3 months to go until the annual River to Reef Ride, but more than 1,000 people have already signed up.
This year we've implemented a few new strategies just to help handle those bigger numbers. So we've got electronic timing this year to avoid those check-in delays.
It's the city's biggest cycling event for all ages and abilities.
We have vision impaired riders on tandem bikes. We have spinal injuries and multiple amputees in hand cycles.
Tees is hoping to collectively ride more than 5,000 kilometres this year to raise vital money for 2 local charities.
They're iconic for what they do in the community, and with us being heavily involved in mining, we rely on CQ Rescue particularly, and we've actually got a number of our employees that have been involved both personally and in other ways with the Sporting Wheelies, and they're just tremendous charity.
So one flying hour, one engine hour can cost up to $7,000 an hour. So you can see how important these community events are.
The event will be held on October 5. To register, visit rivertoreefride.com.au. Olivia Reid, 7 News.
An art space exhibition paying homage to the 150th anniversary of the arrival of South Sea Islanders to Queensland has now been officially opened. Much of the collection was supplied by local families, including these blades used to cut cane at different times over the past century.
Because they were used for hand cutting, each of them has been tailored to suit the person that was cutting cane at the time, and I love that.
The exhibition runs until October the 6th as part of the Festival of Arts.
There's a few items in here that people might find a little bit confronting, but I think it's really important to include all aspects of Australian South Sea Islander history.
For more information about the Festival of the Arts, go to the Mackay Regional Council website. Okay, Laura, sport time now. Gee, plenty of Cowboys in both the Cutters and Pride sides, eh?
Yes, that's right, Brough. Both teams will have a wealth of NRL experience in Sunday's showdown. We'll have more footy next. Plus, the Knights do their best to get the crowd on their side ahead of Sunday's clash. You're with 7 Local News. Mackay product Dane Gagai says playing an NRL match in his hometown will be a dream come true when he runs out for the Knights against Canterbury. It caps a remarkable turnaround for Gagai, whose footy career was at a crossroads last year.
Dane Gagai was sacked by the Broncos last year for a string of off-field incidents before Wayne Bennett offered him a lifeline at Newcastle.
First week of being down here, he chucks me in a jersey and just pretty much threw me in the deep end. But he wouldn't have done that if he didn't think I could get the job done.
A year on, the Knight will fulfil a dream when he runs out in Mackay.
Hopefully I can go out there and do what I do and bring what I can for the team, but it'll be nice to hopefully get a few little meat pies somewhere in there in front of the families.
Ben Barber's back again, but Gagai and fellow local Neville Costigan are happy to play their first game in the region side by side.
Yeah, being able to play alongside another Mackay boy is just going to be another great privilege and highlight of my career.
Newcastle were knights in shining armour at a footy clinic today, but they'll be a much steelier prospect against the Dogs.
Yeah, we do play pretty tight early, but as the game goes on, we like to throw the ball around a bit because we've got some exciting players out wide, that's for sure.
A bye's freshened up the Bulldogs, and they've also played at the ground before.
It's going to be tough, no doubt about that. They had a good win up here last year against Melbourne.
The Knights occupy the final position in the top 8, and no victory is vital.
I think a lot of teams are that logjam of the top 8 at the moment, so we're looking to have a win this week and then go into the bye.
The Bulldogs arrive in town tomorrow and will train in the afternoon. Newcastle get first use of Virgin Australia Stadium in the morning. Nathan Ferguson, 7 News.
The Cowboys are confident they can beat Canberra in the nation's capital despite the Raiders remaining undefeated at home this year. But conditions won't favour the visitors on Sunday.
Cold conditions will greet the Cowboys in Canberra, something no team's been able to deal with this season, but a 2 p.m. kickoff has the visitors in a brighter mood.
We got lucky with the time of the game there, but still saying that, it's still going to be a big change for us. We've built some form over the last couple of weeks, so we just need to continue to take that down there.
James Tarmo's been out in the cold, but he could find himself back in a blue shirt with a strong game against the Green Machine.
He's done the job for him in the past. I'm pretty confident that he'll be back in there.
Jason Taumalolo will travel to Canberra, ruling him out of the Cutters side to take on the Pride, but there'll be plenty of Cowboys going head-to-head in Sunday's derby.
Obviously, there's a bit of rivalry with the Cowboy connections there, and those guys have been probably sledging each other at training.
While the league leaders are wary of Michael Morgan's presence, they'll also focus on shutting down an in-form Matt Minto.
I think Minto as well, the halfback's probably playing out of his skin at the moment.
But Pride fullback Herzen Merg is the man of the moment. The 27-year-old's electrified this season and has been rewarded with a Cowboys contract from next year.
Yeah, there's certainly been a lot of talk about him, but to us he's another fullback and they're all pretty good in this comp. So, we'll just make sure we present in a straight line on a good kick chase.
Nathan Ferguson, 7 News.
Mackay State basketball sides may have a bye this weekend, but they'll be in action at the Crater tomorrow night. The Meteors and Meteorettes will play intra-squad games, while other on-court events will be hotly contested.
Both the Meteors and Meteorettes will have their three-point shootout to see who's, the best from long range, and then the Meteors will have a dunk competition as well.
Spectators will also be involved with a sponsors game, sure to produce some not-so-silky skills. And I don't know about you, Rob, but I'm going for the Dogs on Sunday night.
Did you hear that? That was Benny Barber's family. They're cheering for you. Good on you, Laura. You'll have some fans out there on the weekend. It'll be a beauty. OK, we'll check the weekend weather details for the footy in a moment with Liv. We're back soon here on 7.
Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. We're not predicting perfect weather for the Central Coast this weekend, with conditions expected to get quite choppy out to sea, especially on Sunday, Monday. Heavy clouds may gather about the coast and islands, though I doubt the plants will get much of a drink. Temperatures have been exceptionally mild owing to the absence of the cooling trade winds, 3 to 4 degrees above average in some cases. Now on the satellite loop, the only part of Queensland that really managed to get some significant cloud today was the Wide Bay Burnett region, and in fact that's where the temperatures stayed down to the low 20s. Everywhere else seemed to have been clear and got very exceptionally warm days, like I said, mostly because of lack of wind. And it doesn't look like coastal showers are much of a threat at the moment, although over the next 2 days, at least in the tropical half of Queensland, they will start to increase. On today's chart, you have a very bit of a limbo zone, as I mentioned yesterday. There's a high sitting right on top of central Queensland, so there's almost no wind right up and down the coast, and that's led to a little bit of fog early this morning. Certainly wasn't thick or anything. A couple of showers building near the trough this afternoon, but again, nothing significant. On tomorrow's chart, what we can see now is as the new high moves over southern Australia, a ridge of high pressure starts to build along the tropical coast. This is where the southeasterly winds will start to kick up again, get a little bit stronger, and they'll start to bring back a few showers. And on the outlook chart, showers will start to get a little bit more intense, and winds may even reach strong wind warning force by the end of the weekend. Moving on to the Bureau's forecasts. In coastal waters from Bowen to St Lawrence, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots tomorrow, increasing to 15 to 20 over northern parts late in the day. And then on Sunday, winds could reach 25 knots from the southeast, and then finally warning force by Monday. Tomorrow's high tides in Mackay around 9:54 a.m, Hay Point 9:51, Shute Harbour 9:43. Central Coast and Whitsunday, some early fog followed by a mostly fine day, just isolated showers and a freshening breeze. A couple of showers again for Sunday, but mostly fine on Monday with winds increasing. Central Highlands and Coalfields, some early fog once again, and afternoon showers also possible. Sunday, Monday, showers restricted to southern parts. Temperatures tomorrow, Bowen 26 degrees, Mackay 14 to 24, Claremont ranging 8 to 27, big range, Moranbah expecting 28. And the Mackay City forecast, a couple of showers here and there for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not too many, tops around 24 degrees and then a cool change. And that's about all I've got in the tank for this evening. Enjoy the weekend wherever you happen to be, and make sure you do come back on Monday to hear my weather wrap up for the new week. Hopefully nothing too foreboding if everything goes to plan. Catch you next week then, and now it's back to you, Rob.
Good on you, Liv. Thanks very much, mate. Have a great weekend, folks. We'll look forward to seeing you back, of course, on Monday. Just a reminder, if you have a story for us, our email, localnews@7.com.au. From the team, take care. Good night.